Welcome into Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib. I'm Charlie Hannema, and the man next to me is David Alexander, the head coach of the #1 ranked Broken Arrow Tigers. Coach, how's that feel?
Well, that's a surreal feeling. You know, I could give you all the cliches about, it's not important, week one, but it's been, I don't know when the last time Broken Arrow was ranked #1. I know we weren't ever ranked #1 in 15 when we went to state championship game. So it really doesn't win you a state championship, but what it does do, it validates to our kids how much hard work they put in, and then it was worth it, and they're on the right track, and they're doing the right things, which is the most important thing to me right now after just playing one game. The kids now believe everything we're doing, then it's paying off for them, and it's going to help them the rest of the season.
Broken Arrow opened the season, of course, with a big 33-10 win over Union in front of a sold-out Memorial Stadium last Friday. I know it's only been a few days, but just what does that do for your team? What have you seen from the guys as you go through, meetings and practice yesterday?
Man, Charlie, how cool is that, right? We already knew it was going to be an incredible environment Friday night, right? We'd already talked about that. The big bands, two big bands there, two great student sections. But to have, a sellout crowd where they shut the gates and don't let any more people in there, that is incredible. Football here in Broken Arrow and Northeast Oklahoma is big time, and you got two big time opponents, and our kids loved it. We've really played on that. And you're going to have another huge crowd this Friday. We'll play in front of a huge crowd the week after that, and the week after that. And so, we want the kids to understand you're representing this big town of Broken Arrow. You represent them well by your play and your effort and how you conduct yourselves. Man, playing in front of that crowd Friday night was so much fun.
I know you guys liked your chances coming into Friday, and no coaching staff obviously goes into a game thinking they're going to lose. But were you surprised a little bit maybe at how the game played out?
Well, yes and no, right? I expected, we had talked, off camera, Charlie. I expected it, no matter who won the football game, it to be a 3-point football game. But our defense played so well. I mean, just absolutely just so sharp all night. We kept them unbalanced. We gave them a completely different look than they've ever seen from Broken Arrow. And they never really got comfortable with what we were doing defensively. And, honestly, if we just don't make, I think, 2 mistakes in the game, we might shut them out. But I say that, you're never going to really shut out Union, right? You're never going to hold them to 0. They got too much talent. But no, I did not see a 23-point win. But they're in the fourth quarter when everybody was cramping. We had 2 or 3 guys cramping. And they had 2 or 3 at a time cramping. But we had Noah on the show. We're going to have Noah on the show. He's one guy. You didn't see him cramp, right? And he had all the carries, and especially in the fourth quarter when it really mattered. Noah did not cramp, and that's one of the things I told him in the locker room when I gave him his big hug was, you didn't cramp, right? There were a lot of guys that did, but not our bell cow. He did not cramp.
Just an incredible showing from the Tiger defense. Held Union to just 57 yards rushing, 2 yards per carry. Darius Boone, 45 yards on 16 carries. That's about 4.5 yards, 3.5 yards below his average from last year. I mean, that's a very talented running back that's, ran all over a lot of teams in Oklahoma, and the Tigers just shut him down Friday.
And he's, he is great back. He's got a lot of, and he's going to go play college football. And being able to get so many tackles behind the line of scrimmage, right? So many hits that on the line of scrimmage when he was still able to get 3 or 4 yards. We never let him get loose. Just a fantastic performance. And that's a team defense. That's not 1 or 2 guys making all the plays, even though we had some guys play outstanding defensively. But you don't have to gang tackle that guy.
Let's talk about Gavin Potter specifically on defense. Moved over to play linebacker, and what a stud. 14 tackles, 6 tackles for loss. That guy was all over the field.
Man, he really, really was. Gavin is a tremendous athlete. He's a 2-time state champion wrestler. We got him over there on the defensive side to turn that aggression loose, and he had some pent-up frustrations, and man, he let it loose on the Redskins. He's the one that also got the tackle for the safety right there at the beginning of the football game. So, defensive player of the week. I mean, it's not even really that close. And now I think if Marcus Selly picks off that pass, it hits him in the numbers. There might be a debate, but Gavin played a fantastic football game.
Sure did. And Marcuselli was great too. 12 and a half tackles, 3 tackles for loss. I mean, that's kind of par for the course for Zach. You know, he's your leading tackler last year. But
yeah, we expected. I think that's the same, almost the same numbers he had in the semifinal game against Union, right? 12 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Yeah, and that's why he got all these scholarship offers. You know, Gavin, man, just shined and shined. You know, from the very beginning, and he fought through some cramps because he was playing so hard and so fast. But he would he never came off the field, right? We'd get a timeout and he'd drink a thing of Gatorade and get back in the football game and just toughed it out.
Noah Cortese will be our guest coming up in our player segment. He had another outstanding game, 25 carries, 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, more than 6 yards a carry.
Right.
That's just kind of what Noah does.
That's what Noah does, right? He got stronger as the game went on, right? As everybody else started cramping, he got stronger and stronger and stronger. Broke off a couple really nice runs in the fourth quarter to to really seal it, kind of push it out of Union's chance of winning the football game.
We saw 2 quarterbacks we knew we were going to, Tate Robards and Quintevin Cherry. Tate kind of stepped up as the game went along, and tell us about what you saw from him.
Well, Tate was nervous, right? I think he would, if he was standing here, he would tell you he was nervous before the game. You know, he had coming from where he'd played before. You know, I don't think he probably ever played before in front of more than 400 or 500 people. You know, and to come through the tunnel and see that environment Friday night, and he was a little nervous, a little short with a couple throws, made a couple mistakes early in getting the protections set. But as the game went on, man, he started getting comfortable, trusting in everybody around him. You know, on the sidelines, I told him, listen, man, you got the best offensive line in the state, right? You feel a little bit of pressure, step up, make a throw, and that's exactly what he did early, right in the second half. Stepped up in the pocket, right? He knows he's got good protection, kept his eyes downfield, and made a couple really nice throws.
Yeah, that touchdown pass to Isaiah Keller, just what you're talking about. He stepped up and felt the heat, but still delivered a great throw.
Well, and that's calming down. That's keep slowing the game down your mind. You know, if the game would have still been fast for Tate, when he would have stepped up in the pocket, he would have just tucked it down, tucked his head, and taken off running. But he knows those guys downfield are some playmakers. You know, Matt Kaiser, Keller, Client, those guys, and made a good throw, and Isaiah found the end zone.
And a little bit of mental toughness from him too, because you know they had that trouble with I think it was the center exchange. They fumbled that ball there, turned it over. And, you know, some quarterbacks in their first start, that could have been meltdown, go right off the cliff.
Yeah, it could have been. And I think even though hadn't been here and played in that environment, you know, being a senior, right, and old enough to understand, you know, one play doesn't define what the next play is going to be. You know, he just, you know, it's a mistake. I'm going to make, you know, you're going to go through a game and you're going to make a few mistakes. You know, let's go make some plays. And, you know, it just water off his back.
What'd you think of that Tiger Field crowd Friday night?
Oh my gosh, man. Some of that stuff was just incredible. First, you know, we already talked about the packed house, but the Jungle Squad was down there just going bananas the whole time. So much fun. And it's always cool, right? It's great to go down and score in front of the Pride, right? As they start playing Tiger Prep, and it makes a ton of noise and gets the homestands standing up. But when you get to go score, when you know it gets to score in front of his classmates, right? And the Jungle's down there, and they're all in the neon colors, and the talcum powder and everything's flying. It's pretty incredible.
Wow, what a game!
What a game!
Just one of 12, though. One of 13.
Well, yeah, that's right. So. That's right. You got to stay woke. Got to stay woke. That's right. It's been our little hashtag.
All right, we'll take a break on Inside Tiger Football presented by Rib Crib. When we come back, it's our player segment. Noah Cortese is in the spotlight. Who else? Stay with us. This is Broken Arrow Football.
My kids had just recovered from being sick, and I found myself sick. And it was time for me to get the care that I needed, and I didn't want to get the kids out of the house, so I used St. John On Demand.
St. John Clinic On Demand is our innovative 24/7 virtual care clinic. It's accessible from your phone, from a tablet, or from your computer anytime.
I registered for the appointment on my phone and visited with a provider and had a prescription called in for me all within an hour.
So the type of patient that would use this service is someone that has a minor illness. Angela's case is a perfect use of our services. We came to her in her time of need versus her having to come for us.
St. John On Demand is such a great alternative to loading the kids up, getting them to the doctor's office, waiting in the waiting room. So now I'm healthy, my kids are healthy, and I will definitely use St. John On Demand again.
My name is Abigail Bailey. I was at my yearly checkup when I was 12, and we went and got x-rays, and she diagnosed me with scoliosis and that we needed surgery as soon as possible.
Tulsa Bone and Joint was very compassionate. They took their time with us. They answered questions. He was very encouraging.
Dr. Clark helped me see that there is life after spinal fusion. Just because your spine is fused doesn't mean that you can't do what you love to do.
There it is. Robards takes the snap, gives to Power, gives to Cortese. You know what I meant. Cortese is in! Touchdown! Broken Arrow! The Broken Arrow Tigers have turned the jungle into a woodshed.
Welcome back to Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib. Time now for our player segment. And of course, after Broken Arrow's big win over Union, we're joined by senior running back Noah Cortese. Noah, awesome game for your team Friday night against Union. What'd that feel like to be able to do that in front of such a big crowd?
Man, it was amazing, and man, just all the years and all the hype, just people doubting us and us going in there and proving all the odds wrong, and it's just an amazing feeling going out there to war with my brothers and getting the W.
That last touchdown run that you had right in front of the jungle kind of put the game on ice. The crowd's going crazy. Just take me back through that play, what you saw and what you remember.
Man, it was just, I just saw, like right before that play, I was like, Lord, let's go score right here. And I just felt the energy behind me, just God pushing me to the end zone. And you got to give all glory to him, and especially my O-line, best O-line in the state. And the energy from the jungle, it's just there's no better feeling than hitting the end zone right by the jungle.
Coach Alexander, what did you see from Noah Friday night?
Well, just what we've seen his entire career, right? Huge heart, just an incredible amount of toughness. And like he always talks about, right? He's always giving credit to somebody else, his offensive line, his fullback, somebody. And that's, that's why he's the captain of the football team, right? Everybody's looking up to him. He's deflecting the praise and accepts criticism when he needs to. And Friday night he played a great football game, but he's telling everybody that his offensive line and everybody else did all the work for him.
When you're playing the #1 team in the state and you guys are at home and you see that fourth quarter and they're tapping out, defense doesn't want any more, they're cramping, you could just see their body language that they had enough, even though there were still 5-6 minutes left in the game. What does that do for you as a guy who I know prides himself on toughness?
I just look at the scoreboard, and honestly, you just got to finish strong no matter how many minutes are left on the clock. So there's 6 minutes left and they're tired. That just gives you more opportunity to run it down their throat and go score some more touchdowns.
Coach, we kind of talked about this last week, but this is your third year with Noah in the backfield, and it seems like each year he's taken a big step. So just kind of walk us through his career from when he started as a sophomore to where he is now.
Well, he stepped in the limelight, right, middle of the first quarter of his sophomore year, and he's been starting every game since then. And when he was a young sophomore, it was just just a rolling ball of butcher knives. You didn't know where he was going to go. He didn't know where he was going to go. It was just going to be hard, tough running. Last year as a junior, you saw him start making guys missing the hole, right, doing extra things, especially in pass protection, doing some special stuff. And then this year, it's the catching the ball, it's lined up in different spots, and the leadership. We asked a lot of him leadership-wise because he's got his head on the right place, and he's doing it for his teammates. So he's just matured. He's gone from a young guy that just please hand me the football to a guy that wants to win football games, whether he carries it 40 times or carries it 6. And he goes in the locker room and makes sure the locker room is run right. The kids are thinking about practice. And he's a coach's dream.
1,252 yards away from the school record held by Jamal Shaw after 157 on 25 carries and 2 touchdowns last week. That's achievable if you look at your averages from the past couple of years and the amount of games Broken Arrow has left. Have you thought about that at all, being the leading rusher in school history, and what would that mean for you?
That's one of my goals for high school football. That was one of my goals for when I first started playing football for Broken Arrow. And Jamal's a great running back, and he told me one day that I was going to be the one to break him. So I'm just going to keep going, game by game. I'm not going to think about just the records. I'm going to just keep doing me and chase that gold ball, and everything will fall into place.
What's the energy been like with your guys coming off such a big win to start the season?
Oh, it's amazing. We just got to build off that, and that gave us a lot of confidence, and we just got to build off that and go game by game to go get that what we want. Talking with senior running back Noah Cortese on Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib. Let's get to know you a little bit
off the field? If you're not playing football, what kind of stuff are you up to?
Usually I like to go to the gym a lot and just hang out with friends and family, really.
What's on your pregame playlist?
I like a bunch of rap music. I mean, outside of football, I like to listen to country and Christian music, but before games, I have to listen to some rap music to get me going.
Coach, are you into rap before the games? Or
you know, I can't even understand what they're saying. We play a lot of it at practice, and you know the kids love it. There's a few of the younger guys that have to go around every day at practice and remind them it's not time to dance yet, right? It's time to practice. But you know, every young man, every player is different what they have to do before a football game, right? Some guys like to sit in the locker room with their headphones on and be quiet and reflect and listen to some music, and some guys got to be up and moving around, and so we give them some time, all the players, some time to do what they have to do to get ready for a game. And Noah's handles his business, right? He doesn't have a lot of other hobbies, right? He goes to church, he hangs out with his family, and he plays football. So he's our leader. He's our heartbeat.
I love it. Have you thought about after high school what you might want to study, what you might want to go into as a career someday?
I want to be a youth minister one day, so I'll probably go into ministry or something like that.
Very cool. Well, I have a feeling that your football days can continue for a long time, especially if you keep running like you did on Friday. Noah, thanks for being here. Good luck Friday against Mansfield. That's Noah Cortese, senior running back for the Tigers. He's getting $25 to Rib Crib for appearing in the player segment of Inside Tiger Football. We'll take a timeout. Coach and I will look ahead to the Mansfield Tigers after this.
My dad's always saying a little extra effort now will really pay off later. Here's how you can put in just a little extra effort and help out our schools in a big way. Just switch your checking account to TTCU. It's easy. You get $150 just for switching. And every time you use your school pride card, TTCU donates to our schools. So far, over $1 million. They're the only ones doing that. So make the switch to TTCU and be the person who's making a difference for our schools.
The Tigers of 1929 tied for the Oil Valley Conference lead with rival Bixby Spartans. Broken Arrow's only loss coming at the hands of the Spartans, who finished their schedule with 2 ties and no losses. Apparently, Bixby wanted no more of our Tigers that year, as they refused a challenge from Broken Arrow after the season to play off the tie. This great moment in Tiger history is brought to you by First National Bank of Broken Arrow, a loyal fan of our community for over 100 years. First National Bank of Broken Arrow, the right balance.
Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib, is brought to you in part by St. John Broken Arrow, Tulsa Bone and Joints, TTCU Federal Credit Union, First National Bank of Broken Arrow, the Arrow Group, and Matthews Ford. Tiger fans, don't forget Broken Arrow is home again Friday night against Mansfield. Tickets are available online right now. Just go to gofan.co/Broken Arrow Tigers. You can order it right from your phone. That's gofan.co/Broken Arrow Tigers. We'd also love to sell you still some reserve seats. Some chairback season tickets are available at a prorated price. Just call the athletic office for more on those. Back with Coach Alexander now, and we're looking forward to the Mansfield Tigers. The Border Brawl, kind of a cool deal that we're starting this year. So Mansfield ISD in the Dallas Metroplex has 5 high schools. They're all coming up here Friday night. They're going to take on Broken Arrow, Bixby, Sand Springs, and Jenks and Union.
Correct.
So the 5 there. And then next year we'll go down there and I'll play them on the same night or same weekend. We're still working that out. But we get the Mansfield Tigers. They're black and gold as well.
Right.
Then the Tigers. So we've got that going for us, which is nice.
Right. First off, I think this is going to be a great thing for Northeast Oklahoma and for the Mansfield ISD. And they've got a great thing going down there. They have 5 big high schools, one of those really Texas Palace stadiums that they play at. We get the Mansfield Tigers, right? It's the biggest enrollment of the group, right? It's the only 6A school of the 5 that are coming up. They are a mirror image of us. You've already said Tigers. They're black and gold, and they're also a mirror image of us offensively and defensively. They're going to get in a 4-3 cover 4, which is, I know that's a bunch of coach jargon, but that's what Coach Hill, our defensive coordinator, likes to set in when he can. And offensively, they like to put a fullback in the football game, and they like to run downhill and see how physical they can be. And they've done a great job. Coach Mayberry down there has built a good program. He was the offensive coordinator before he was the head coach, and they've been there doing a long time. And it's going to be, it will be a fun experience because of what's happening with everybody in the area. But then, we're going to have our hands full with the Tigers from Mansfield.
Is there an advantage when you prepare for a team that runs a similar system as you, or is it canceled out because they've got the same thing?
Well, a little bit of advantage practice time-wise, right? We'll be able to go against our defense and vice versa in practice, where we won't have to worry about so much scout teams and teaching guys, showed up cards about, what Union does or what Owasso does or whoever we're playing, right? We'll be able to call our plays and call our defenses, and so practice shouldn't be too choppy. We are a little bit of a disadvantage. We've played a game. This will be Mansfield's first game. So we, personnel-wise or any changes, we haven't seen any special teams this year. We're a little at a disadvantage of knowing exactly what they'll do because we don't have any game film. Even though it was the first game of the year against Union, right? We've known Union, their coaches, and their kind of style forever and ever and ever. So there'll be a little bit of adjustment period Friday night against Mansfield.
Mansfield Tigers coming up here to Memorial Stadium. We need to pack the jungle again. It was sold out, 11,000 on Friday. Let's pack it again. And we talked about Mansfield, and we were looking at this before we started the show today, and they lost a lot of guys. They don't have very many returning starters at all. Most of the skill position guys will be new too.
Right.
I know there's no shortage of talent down there, but
yeah.
What does that do when you prepare for kind of a younger team?
Well, as coaches, you already know coaches, Charlie, right? We're all a bunch of paranoid guys anyway, right? So we're scared to death. We don't know what they've got. They graduated 51 seniors. They have a roster of almost 200 kids, 10 through 12. In Texas, they do things different. They only travel varsity games, and it's mandated, right? They only travel 65. So I don't know if all those 51 seniors last year suited up or not, and there's really no way of figuring that out. But they will be bringing a lot of guys up here with game time and varsity game time experience. So what we're going to get, I don't know. They will be talented, right? They went. It takes 6 rounds of playoffs to win a state championship in Texas, right? And they went 4 rounds deep last year, and they got barely beat in that 4th round, and they probably only lost because their All-American tailback broke his leg. So, it's going to be fun, but it's a little nerve-wracking for us paranoid group of coaches to know exactly what we're going to have and try to handle, and there'll be a little feeling out period early in the football game.
I feel you. Once again, the border brawl against the Mansfield Tigers is Friday night, 7 o'clock kick at Broken Arrow Memorial Stadium. We'll be on the air on The Animal with the pregame show at 6:30. We'll hook up on Arrowvision a little before 7. We'll take a timeout. Back with Coach Alexander's final thoughts. You're listening to Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib.
In the folded flag, we see the heavy price of freedom. Nearly 9 out of 10 dependents of America's fallen and disabled soldiers do not qualify for federal scholarship assistance. The Folds of Honor closes that gap, already providing over 10,000 scholarships. Join us in this noble mission. Donate today at foldsofhonor.org. This is your call to duty.
The 1982 Pride of Broken Arrow Marching Band had a spectacular and rewarding year. Led by Senior Drum Major Paul Gerder and Junior Drum Major Mindy Denton, the Pride and its members practiced relentlessly with the utmost determination and won the sweepstakes of the Midwest Championship in the Colorado Marching Band competition, which was truly a great honor and led many to declare the Pride the grandest band in the land. This great moment in Tiger history is brought to you by First National Bank of Broken Arrow, a loyal fan of our community for over 100 years. First National Bank of Broken Arrow, the right balance.
Welcome back to Inside Tiger Football, presented by Rib Crib. Final segment here as the Tigers get ready for Mansfield on Friday night. Coach, we talked about the Union game, and obviously a big win, 33-10, but there are things you can clean up. So what do you focus on in practice here?
Well, we know what we have with our quarterbacks, right? And we're going to expand both Quintevin's package and Tate Robards' package. We know what we have defensively, right? We know where we're strong. We need to get a few things shored up special teams wise, even though, we won the special teams battle, which was big for us. But, we need to do a couple things, move a couple guys around, and then so we know, and we also know, when you've got a few guys, we haven't seen Isaiah Keller play before, right? You hadn't seen the quarterbacks. Trayvon Client got out there and got a first start, made a couple big plays, and then our two safeties, boy, they played great. Our two corners played well. So, it's really operationally from the coaches to the players as far as calling plays, both offensively and defensively, that we got to get shored up. And those are the things that were rusty because we didn't get a scrimmage. And so Friday night we got better operationally as the game went on, and I expect this week to really be sharp operationally. Hopefully I won't have to use all my first half timeouts in the first quarter this week.
We'll hope for that.
That's right.
I know you guys are so hooked up on Broken Arrow and the next game and the game before.
Right.
Do you get a chance to look around 6A and look at what happened on the opening weekend? Or?
Of course, Charlie. I'm a football fan, man. I'm a football junkie. As most coaches probably are. Sure, I look around. I kind of know what's going on around the state.
What jumped out to you from week one?
Well, first thing, right? The team in our district, Jinx went out and played a very methodical football game. They have a move-in tailback who's I understand. I haven't seen him in on film, but he's a pretty special athlete. The kid that played tailback for him last year, Noah Hernandez, also scored a touchdown or two and played middle linebacker. They've got their quarterback at Owasso went out and put up astronomical numbers in their first game against Bentonville West, and their defense had 2 pick sixes. So, right, the two teams, the other two Oklahoma teams that really we're going to play here in the next month, played very sharp. You wouldn't expect anything else, but they played good football games.
All right, Coach Alexander, we'll leave it there. Good luck on Friday against Mansfield. That's David Alexander, head coach of the #1 ranked Broken Arrow Tigers. Don't forget, Broken Arrow home Friday night against Mansfield. Get your tickets now, gofan.co/Broken Arrow Tigers. We will see you Friday night at Tiger Field or on the Animal 97.1, kickoff at 7, pregame at 6:30. For Coach Alexander, I'm Charlie Hannema. This has been Inside Tiger Football presented by Rib Crib.